Hello, this is Miho from Canada. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well with mentally and physically. So today I'm going to talk about failure. When you hear the word failure, I'm the one who's used to think, oh, that's scary, oh, that's bad, that's negative, oh, I don't want to fail. So you back up and you stay the same because you don't want to fail. And there will be a chance that you could succeed, but you don't know that until you try it. But this failure, the words that you connect the meaning or the feeling to it, it really determines what or how you're going to proceed your movement for the future. For instance, the people who invent things, or the Edison, who invented the light bulb, people say, he made so many mistakes, but he didn't think so, right? He just experimented. One didn't work, so went on to the next one. This one didn't work, so went to the third one, and so forth. And he used, so many different medium to experiment. So for him, it wasn't a word of failure that's defined what he was doing. He was experimenting. He experienced by trying a different materials, different methods. So for him, it just took 1,000 times or more to find the result that he was looking for. So it all depends how you define the words and how you connect your feeling to that words. So for me, when you try something new, because it's so many unknown uncertainty, that fear and worries come up. But if you stay the same, that means you don't try, you don't move, and that makes your life even harder, tougher, because as human beings, we are naturally looking for to become better and improve our living. When you look back in history, you could tell how far we came, right? Because human as a nature has a desire to be better, has a desire to want more. That's why I invented the airplanes. Now we can travel all over the world instead of just on the ground methods. And this IT world, because we wanted to connect instantly, so the technology came in and it's improving so much fast. And so as so many other things. And we have so many kitchen gadgets that 100 years ago, when they look at us, like they'll be so wow, like we are having a millionaire lifestyle, right? So we are, as a human, it's a natural way that we crave for better and more. So that's okay, and that's very natural for us to be better and more. So this failure, when you connect the feeling of fear and worries, anxiety to that word of failure, you stop yourself from doing things because that's what you think. But when you shift your mind or feelings attached to the words to experience, you're gaining experience. And those who are very successful, they have failed so many areas. They have so many experiences where things didn't work, but they don't think as a failure as much as we think as a failure. They think that it's a good experiment. It's a good experience, so that when they face something very similar, now they know, okay, this thing does work, that this thing doesn't work. So they have more in their library to determine what's the next move because they have experienced. Some didn't work, some did. So that comes from the experience, including what we call failures, which didn't work. But for them, it's just a part of process, just a part of experience, and it's a process that they learn by doing it. And one didn't work, so they modify or defer it to make it bigger and make it better and workable. That comes from the experience. So it's the words has its own energy, and when you talk to yourself in very negative words, that's how you feel, and you feel down. But when you talk to yourself in a positive words, you feel much lighter. The same for other people who talk to you, right? So the word has its own energy, and when you can interpret in a different way, more of your favor, of your way, and it might really change the concept of having a failure versus experiencing something different. So I did a lot of so-called failure experience, and one of the biggest one is the finance, that I spent the money, a huge amount of money on myself, self-investment to learn more, but there was no money. So that means it's in debt. We had so many debt already, and then I used the money that wasn't there. And I had this gut feeling that, okay, I had to do this now. But, actually when I faced the reality, oh my gosh, like I couldn't pay for it. So when I look at the numbers, all the fears, all the worries, all the anxiety really hit me hard. I couldn't sleep through the night. That never happened to me. I kept looking at the numbers in the bank account, which never changes. It just goes down, but it never really fixed itself by looking at it. But I did every single day, like looking, how could I do it? How could I manage? How? And it gave me the knot in my stomach, and my heart was beating fast. I was very stressed, and that financial stress is tough. And because you need the money, to eat food or drive the car, to live, and it's not everything, but you need the money to really, function in this life on this earth. So when you focus too much on it, that's all you think, and you have other things going on around your life, and you can't really pay attention to any of those because your mind is totally being occupied by this finance failure, I would say. And I just searching the ways to not to feel this knot in my stomach. So I ended up not focusing on too much. It's always in the back of my head, but I thought, okay, I back up. This is something I've decided to do it myself, and whether I get the results or not sure, because that's the way it works. But the fact that I'm in debt is there, and I will just take the whole thing, and it will take time, but I will pay it off somehow. I don't know how. And when you do that as a big picture, not really focusing on the numbers, you start to feel not to focusing on too much, and almost ignoring all the worries and anxieties and all those feelings, and focusing on what's important to you, what you can do now, and just ignore the fact that that you owe so much money, and you know it back of your head, it's there, that's enough, but you do what you can do from day to day. And when I stop focusing on too much, the things start to evolve much better, because when you focus too much on the numbers, you're not really doing anything to change or improve. You're just dwelling on it, and your emotion gets really ups and downs. It's not steady at all. It's almost like a wave. And when you are in that state of low energy level, things doesn't go well. So you try really hard to put yourself up to the higher conscious level, okay? And then you try to focus on yourself and harmonize yourself. And that's the spot you want to be. You think that's nothing to do with the actual dead. No, it's nothing to do with the dead. You just need to be in that state. Even though you have those list of worries, but you pretty much force yourself to train yourself to become that harmonized place. And then you start to really feel the ease and the peace. And you feel like, okay, this is something that you can deal with. You know, there are so many cases of proof out there that people make money or people pay debt, much bigger than what you have. So you start to look for those proof that people actually, done a great things, and you could be able to adapt that ideas, and you start to feel really ease and harmonize in a peaceful place, and all those great ideas and inspiration start to pour into you. When you're tight and anxiety and stressful, your pipe is so tight, and all those great ideas or next step forward information is stuck. It doesn't come, it doesn't flow into you. So there are so many things or factors that you cannot explain because you can't be, it's not tangible. There are so many intangible things around there to evolve your life too. So let those work for you, and when you are in a very peaceful state, and that start to flow into you, and then you start moving with that ideas or the feeling, and at least you have a different focus in your life. And that really helped me. Debt is still there, but somehow you will get extra money paid, or you get the gift money, or it depends, but somehow you manage better, and you have the better ideas of budgeting or all sorts of different things start to happen. So it's more of progressing with what's really happening instead of being so fearful and scared and stressed. And this is something that you could do. There are so many proofs out there that people pay much larger debt, or they earn much more to compensate, or like you start to find those proofs, and then you think to yourself, okay, this is something durable. I'm still living. It might take a longer time than you think, but you're still moving forward without being fearful and stressful and full of anxieties. So that's how you put yourself in a higher conscious level to become really harmonize yourself and peace yourself. And that really helps in many areas of your life. So I learned that through my worst fear of finance distractions that I caused myself to. But I think a lot of things in life really evolves about a lot of intangible things. So it's good to pay attention to those two. A little bit of an off topic, but anyway, the failure and experiment. So it's very similar, but it's a different approach to it. Anyway, so hope you guys gonna have a great Happy Mother's Day and see you soon.